Hello ladies and gentlemen, CaptainShack here, and welcome to my Battlefront 3 discussion video. Now I had a chance to be at the Star Wars Celebration, and I did get to see the exclusive actual gameplay footage they had behind closed doors, and it looked fantastic. I mean, it looked really good, but let's get into what a lot of people are talking about right now. They're talking about how Battlefront, the new one, they're pissed off. They're pissed off with a lot of lacking features. It has been confirmed, people keep telling me, that there are no space battles. It has been, confirmed that the battles won't be as big as Battlefront. There's a lot of misinformation and a lot of misrepresentation of information because the media sources are so hungry to release something about Battlefront because they're like, oh, we know this gets views, let's talk about it as much as possible. Here I am making a video on it, but at least I was actually there to bring you guys something. So I can't show any footage. I don't have any footage of the gameplay, the actual gameplay. Right now there's a trailer out you guys can watch. You're not really missing a lot though. The trailer is very close to what you saw from the full-on gameplay. The trailer that they released is in-engine, and what we saw in gameplay was on indoor. So let me go through what would happen here. So we sat through the line, and it was a pretty decently long one to get through. Got in, we were in this circular booth with the Adobe, Atom sound system and engine that they're using. This really impressive sound engine that Battlefront's gonna have in it. They've only used it for cinema before, and this is the first time it'll be in a game. Now, if anything, Battlefield, if you guys have ever played any of the Battlefield games, know the sound design is fantastic. There's never been any problem with the sound design in Battlefield 3. It was just, it was meaty, it was bassy, you could feel those machine guns rattling off, the sniper rifle cracks and the sound in the distance. Well, they brought that over to Star Wars and everything sounds amazing. So anyways, they had this booth. It was set up pretty cool. They had this control panel in the center. We were all standing around it. That looked like we were on the bridge of a Corellian, like a blockade runner or something, It was pretty neat. They had a big screen, and then they came out and they're like, hey, don't take footage of this or we'll hunt you down and kill your family. And then we got into the actual footage. The footage itself, it was the indoor map. It opens with with the speeders going by, and the guy gets shot off the speeder explodes, and they ended up showing an AT-ST walking around, and you can hear the clunking of the legs, and you can hear the forest sounds. If just watch Jedi, and you'll know what I'm talking about with the forest sound. You can hear the birds chirping and whatnot. And then they revealed, the AT-AT coming out of the trees, and it was very dramatic, and the sound was great. I mean, I can't rage more about the sound, but what they didn't show was any vehicle combat. They showed vehicles, they showed with names above their heads, so the AT-ST was being piloted. The AT-AT had a name above its head. I don't know if it was being actually piloted as in they were choosing where it walks, or if it was just, okay, there was a player in the head of the thing acting like a turret, sorta. There was a really convenient communications little box that the rebels captured and used to call in an airstrike from Y-Wings to destroy the AT-AT. So that was cool. I mean, this felt a very high-tech demo is really what we were seeing. Looked amazing. Graphically, the detail was fantastic. I mean, they actually took scans of the models from the Lucas library, from the archives, and then applied those scans directly to the animation frames. So it looked as close as you're ever going to get to looking like the original movies, which, that's pretty cool. The marks on the models and everything will be on the units in the game. That's fantastic. So it looked graphically great, it sounded great, but we didn't see a lot of gameplay. Now there was some interesting gameplay mechanics that we did see, Rebel soldiers had the Droideka-esque shields that looked like they were able to activate right when they needed them. Maybe they were playing some type of heavy Rebel class, soldier class, where they were able to turn that on, or maybe it was just an item that they equipped themselves with. The rocket launcher that they showed being used to take out an AT-ST in the demo was actually found on the ground. It wasn't part of a kit. That doesn't confirm anything. I don't know if rockets, there'll be an engineer class like in Battlefield where you'll have a rocket if you have to go find and pick it up and use it, but that was the thing. The big thing I can tell you guys about Battlefront is that we don't know much about it. When it came to asking devs questions, anything everybody seemed to get was just no comment, no comment, no comment. Will there be modding support? No comment. Will there be, anything you can think of was pretty much no comment, except for what we saw in the video, which was a little disappointing. I was hoping, because this comes out in November, I was hoping we'd get some actual information. But people are freaking out about there's no space battles. So let's get into that real quick. No space battles confirmed. Well, I can tell you this. The giant like image that they had on the side of the Battlefront booth type deal was of a battle raging with 2 Star Destroyers kind of like pseudo-orbit hovering in the atmosphere. Now, maybe they aren't gonna have straight, you know, blank skyboxes that are black and you've got a couple of ships staring each other down. What I'm thinking what they mean by no space battles is that we're gonna have ships in the atmosphere with the ground actually there below you, where there's a battle raging on the ground, maybe there's a battle raging in the air above the ground, and then there's, think of Titan mode, right? From 2142. Now, I'm not saying we saw this, but that's what I think they're gonna end up going with. They're gonna just make it more populated and less empty. You're still gonna have X-Wings and TIE fighters fighting. I think that's what we're gonna see. If they don't have any type of space battles though, if you can't pilot an X-Wing, which would be really weird because they had this like X-Wing booth there where you sat and it played footage from the inside of an X-Wing cockpit, and they showed X-Wing footage of people flying through canyons and stuff. But if they don't have that kind of like epic battle in the vehicles of Star Wars, then they're really missing out on the best part of Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars is in the damn name. What I can tell you guys though from Battlefront was it was incredibly impressive looking footage. I mean, the Frostbite engine is one of the best looking engines out, and it's capable of handling a lot of players at once, and I'm really excited to dive into it. I'm gonna continue to cover this. Hopefully I will get my questions answered. Will we see modding support in Battlefront 3, which is now just called Battlefront for whatever reason? That's confusing. I don't know. I don't know if we will, but I have a lot of questions like that that I want answered, and it's coming up quick. I mean, November. I was not expecting a November release date. So, all right, guys, that's my experience with Battlefront. I mean, it was pretty cool. The footage that we saw looked amazing, sounded amazing. The gameplay looked pretty damn solid. I mean, we were all pretty much expecting really solid gunplay. Everything was that brought you into the Star Wars universe, and they're really looking at this from a micro perspective. They want to bring you into the shoes of a soldier in one of the movies, in one of the battles. And if that is their goal, they're hitting it. They're nailing it. They are doing everything they can to make it the most immersive experience possible with the level of detail that they're going to, at least so far that we've seen. I want to see more, so try to hold your disappointment back. People are really excited to be disappointed by this, and I don't really understand that. There isn't a lot of information out there. There isn't a lot of gameplay out there. There's no gameplay out there right now, except for what we saw in the booth, in behind closed doors. So people just need to relax and see where the game goes. Let DICE do their thing, and then when the game comes out and it's just not what we were expecting, then we rail them for it. If it is awesome and hopefully gonna be the best experience that we've ever had in a Star Wars game, then let's praise them for it, but let's don't jump the gun here. There's not a lot of information out yet. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more gaming goodness, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.